It's a list of names, 47 pages. I think it's several hundred people who are accused of impeding aid to Ukraine. I am one of these individuals. I, Jack Posobiec, Robbie Starbuck, even Nancy Mace, many others. I received a letter from Rep. Jim Banks informing me that I was on this list, which is part of an NGO, non-governmental organization working out of Ukraine that has worked with U.S. entities. And I'm going to read this letter for you so I can give you the full context. But suffice it to say that when you are anti-war, when you believe the United States should justify its wars, should declare war, they make you the enemy. Why? As I stated in my earlier segment, the United States is a vassal of the international, the multinational military-industrial complex. We are a vassal state, as evidenced by the fact that if I, but a humble whinger on the internet, simply explain my opinion when asked, makes me an enemy, impeding their funding, which comes out of my pocket, your pocket, and is, well, to be fair, through modern monetary theory, basically just strips the buying power of the American citizen. If I just say, here's how I think, they're going to put together this, let's say, here are the people who are in our way. Who's them? The international military elite, these foreign volunteers who go and perpetuate this war that I have to pay for. You know, there's this video that I was showing earlier, or I was playing the audio from, and one of the guys who, the video's from an interview recorded of these volunteers. So you're not getting paid? Who's covering the supply of your weapons? Who's covering the cost of your gear? Did you pay for all of it? Let's have that conversation. Because I will tell you this right now, and I'd be willing to bet most of you agree. The volunteers who are receiving weapons, training, food, water, shelter, whatever, that money comes from somewhere, and it's coming out of our pockets. And that pisses me off. So I say this. How about you give me that money back? The money that you stole from us. We didn't vote for this. You know, the American people don't want this. Overwhelmingly. You ask the average person, I don't even know, but it's being stripped from our pockets, and we are cursed with knowledge. You and I, we understand what's going on with this waste of money in a faraway land that we don't know or care about, and they try to justify why we should. Spare me. We live in different worlds, ladies and gentlemen, and you don't get to take from my labor and out of my pocket or anyone else's unless you justify the purpose of this war to the faces of the American people. Instead, they say, the American people are stupid. Let them pay the taxes. Let them lose their buying power, struggle to pay their rent, so we can send billions upon billions, hundreds of billions of our labor for Ukraine. There you go. Well, let's read this story. This is the story from the Post-Millennial, how they break it down. And then I've got the actual article from this NGO. Rep. Jim Banks reveals Jack Posobiec is on NGO's list of Americans impeding, they put impending aid to Ukraine. It's impeding, you guys. Typo there, Hannah Nightingale over at Post-Millennial. Oh, Libby's going to see it. Libby's going to text you and be like, why is there a typo? On Tuesday, Human Events Daily host Jack Posobiec revealed that he'd been contacted by Rep. Jim Banks, I as well, who informed him that he was found on a list of U.S. individuals that a non-governmental organization in Ukraine alleges are helping impede aid to the Eastern European country. In fact, in essence, helping the Russians by spreading Russian propaganda. Banks wrote to Posobiec in the Tuesday letter that his name appears on a list of individuals. Well, I actually have this letter as well, so I'll show you my letter because it's more relevant to me, I suppose, and you watching this show. An NGO in Ukraine, which has worked with U.S. aid, included my name on a list with many others accused of impeding aid to Ukraine. I received this letter from Rep. Jim Banks. Oh, look, I got a typo. There you go. I put form Rep. Jim Banks. Here's what I was sent. Congress of the United States, dear Mr. Poole, I'm writing to inform you that your name appears on a list of individuals and groups in the U.S. impeding aid to Ukraine, published by a Ukrainian non-governmental organization called the Data Journalism Agency, Texty, which has worked with the U.S. Department of State and the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID. I love how they call it that, USAID. As you may be aware, other Ukrainian NGOs have published similar lists, which have published the personal information of those named in apparent attempts to intimidate them. I've enclosed a copy of a letter I've sent to the Appropriations Committee Chairman Cole, as well as State and Foreign Operations Appropriations Subcommittee Chairman Mario Diaz-Balart, urging them to stop the State Department and USAID from participating with any actors overseas who encourage the harassment of Americans. The Appropriations Committee markup of its bill to fund the State Department and USAID during fiscal year 2025 is scheduled to take place tomorrow. I appreciate your attention to this serious matter. Sincerely, Jim Banks, Member of Congress. Attached was an additional letter. Chairman Tom Cole. I write to you regarding the Department of State's Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs and the U.S. Agency for International Development's past partnerships, the data journalism agency Texty, a Ukrainian non-governmental organization. Texty was founded by Anatoly Bondarenko in 2010. Mr. Bondarenko worked as a trainer in the U.S. State Department's program called Tech Camp in 2015. More recently, USAID selected Texty as one of 6 implementing partners on its Transparency and Accountability in Public Administration and Services program. Mr. Bondarenko's NGO recently published a report titled Roller Coaster From Trumpists to Communists, the Forces in the U.S. Impeding Aid to Ukraine and How They Do It. According to the report, the individuals on the list oppose supporting Ukraine, and many echo key messages of Russian propaganda aimed at depriving Ukrainians the ability to defend themselves. All right, I'm going to refrain from swearing. Shove off. I'll keep it light. Ukraine, you can go F yourselves. You can take... I'm going to keep it chill because I'm about to get wild. You don't come to me and tell me that I owe you. I don't know you. I owe you nothing. Scumbags. According to the report, the individuals oppose supporting Ukraine. You bet. You bet. You come to me and you make demands. You come to my house and you insult me and tell me I got to pay your bills. Have a nice day. Good luck. Key measure. Ukrainians have the ability to defend themselves. 76 organizations and 388 individuals appear on the list, including President Donald Trump and 116 members of the House of Representatives. All Republicans. One of them, Congressman Jerry Carl, serves on the Appropriations Subcommittee on State, Foreign Operations, and related programs. Another Ukrainian NGO, Myro Tvorets, maintained a database of alleged enemies of Ukraine. Myro Tvorets, Maya Tvorets, probably pronouncing it wrong, published its targets' personally identifiable information, potentially placing those listed in harm's way. In a transparent attempt to intimidate, the Ukrainian government, through its Center for Countering Disinformation, also maintains a list of individuals who also allegedly promote narratives consistent with Russian propaganda. Federal bureaucrats should not support or partner with foreign groups that attempt to intimidate and silence U.S. citizens and lawmakers. I am urging the Appropriations Committee majority to support efforts in the fiscal year 2025 SFOPS bill to force the State Department and USAID to end all relations with foreign NGOs like Texty that seek to silence the speech of Americans they dislike and to sway U.S. policymakers to serve their own interests. From the American Conservative, State Department-linked Ukrainian NGO creates list of American opponents of Ukraine aid. Oh boy, I'm on that list, huh? Why? I'll tell you why. Because I've stated over and over again that you don't get to come to me and demand I give you money. Bye-bye. These are evil people. The Ukrainians are abject evil. I'm going to say it right now. Well, I know Ukrainian people. Some friends of mine, they fled the country a long time ago. The people who are currently running Ukraine as a vassal state of the military-industrial complex are evil. Zelensky is evil. Why? They don't come to you with a plea. They don't say, look, we understand not everybody in your country agrees. No, they make lists. They say, here are our enemies. They don't want us to get money. It's my money. I say if even one American says no money for Ukraine, we give no money to Ukraine. Or at the very least, I'll tell you what, you write me a check for the balance based on, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do, how much, what's the total aid to Ukraine right now? Let's do some math. 175 billion as of May 9th. Let's see. Okay, I'm sorry. 107 billion worth of aid. So Ukraine support tracker. Let's pull this up. I want to get the hard numbers here. Kyle Institute for the World Economy. What's the total number? Here we go. Is it not going to show me? It's just giving me a percentage. I want to know the hard number. What's the hard? Oh, here we go. Billions in euros. Oh, wow. Government support to Ukraine by month, United States. Every month we're giving, okay, so we gave 1.5 billion, then 7.9, then 14, then 9.4, then 12.7, then 11.3, then 7.8, then 1.4, then in 0.3. So this is not actually covering all of it. What's the hard number? Okay, so in euros, all right. 74. So what are we looking at? Yeah, this is not giving me the full numbers. What's the full number? It's like 100 and something billion, isn't it? Could be more than that. Here we are. 175 billion is the total Ukrainian approved aid as of May of this year. Okay, all right. All right, let's do this. 175, we're going to go billion. And we're going to divide that by the U.S. population. And we're going to include the babies. We're going to include the babies. I'll tell you what. You write me a check for $515, we're good. We're good. I'm good. You leave me out of it. You want my name on your list, you owe me $515. That's it. $515. Doesn't seem like a lot. I don't care. Now, to be fair, it is an overly simplified way of doing it. I say you got to go to every single American who opposes this money and you got to pay them back. Or how about this? Anybody who supports Ukraine and spending this money, you write a check to them. That's how you do it. I shouldn't have to pay. Here's the story. Oh, there's me. Social media influencer, they say. Connections, Kyle Becker. Oh, come now. What about PBD? I don't know if you see, is Patrick Bet David on the list? Because I was on his show. This is the video. I appeared on the Valuetainment podcast 8 months ago with Jimmy Dore. 841,000 views. Look at that. Look at the Valuetainment. And this is the map they show. And the point that I was making was, I said, I was surprised to see this map when it came out, showing that Russia won. This is the battlefield control map. The red shows that Russia is in control of the Donbass land bridge into Crimea. It was 8 months ago. Russia's goal, and they'll lie to you. They will lie to you. You know, I was arguing with Elad Eliyahu. He's a good dude. He's a good dude, but we argue this. He says Russia wants the entirety of Ukraine because they believe it's theirs. It means borderland. Historically, Kiev was the capital of Russia. Yeah, sure. That's plan B, though. Main target, Russia. Crimea is Sevastopol naval base. The Crimean bridge is an easy military target. You need land access. You need to control this region. If you want to keep your Black Sea fleet and your transportation of energy, oil, otherwise into the Mediterranean, you must own this territory. Now, if Russia were to conquer Ukraine, I'm sure they'd be happy with it. But that's plan B. Why are they attacking Kharkiv, Kiev? The most likely scenario from the north through Belarus is that they want to split Ukrainian forces and force them to be on the defensive for their civilian territories. What their main goal is, it's clearly the place they took. If Russia wanted Kiev, they'd focused all their forces on taking Kiev. They didn't. They focused in the Donbass region and moving down into Crimea, because that's where their Black Sea fleet is. It's how they access the Mediterranean. Next question, I guess. So when I say this, wow, they secured this? I was surprised. They kept saying Russia was losing and they're conscripting more and more prisoners. And Ukraine is bringing in foreigners. They don't even have their own citizens fighting their war. I think these people are absolute scumbags. The most vile scum. I want to know who's paying their bills. I don't want to be involved. You know, I liked Ukraine for a while. I've been there several times. Know people from there. It's a cool place. It's a fun place. But now they've become a vassal state for war, for NATO, and for Western forces. And they do things like this. Listed entities. Here you go. Wait, is this Tim Pool right there in their media list? 388 individuals and 76 organizations in our list. They include politicians, political movements, groups, media and journalists, experts, and think tanks. If you wanted to radicalize me against Ukraine, this is exactly how you do it. You come to me and say that I owe you and that I'm in your way. Oh, yeah? I am going to be so far in your way, you will beg. You will wish, you will pray you never put my name on a list. Or anyone's for that matter. A little more than half the individuals in the sample are right-wing. Oh, here's what I do love is I'm unaffiliated. Cooperates with Russia. Matt Taibbi cooperates with Russia, they say. They say, who else? Jeffrey Sachs, Patrick. I don't know who these people are. Peter Lavelle. You've got Steve Gill, Lee Stranahan. Wow, Tara Reid, Wyatt Reed, Max Blumenthal, Tucker Carlson. I love that one. Ben Norton. We know those names. Ray McGovern, Jimmy Dore, Aaron Matei, Paul Craig Roberts. Names we know. I'm not reading the ones that I'm not familiar with. John, who else we got in here? Don't know that person. Don't know who that is. No. William Binney. Wow, Bill Binney, whistleblower. Yeah, I don't know who these people are. I'm not included in cooperating with Ben Swan. Wow, that's interesting. If I am, I didn't see my name on the list. I don't know. They have this Jesse. Okay, so contributor of these 50 individuals have collaborated with Russian media and government-funded initiatives during Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Some have moved to Russia and the occupied territories of Ukraine. Around 30 journalists and influencers work as reporters and contributors for Russian media and also served as observers at illegal referendums. Remember when Ukraine killed that guy? That journalist? Gonzalo Lira? Whatever happened to that, man? Let's pull that up. It's been a while. Gonzalo Lira. Here we go. What was this guy? Was this guy Coach Red Pill? Is that who he was? Was that who that was? Gonzalo Lira died January 12th, 2024, was a Chilean-American novelist, filmmaker, commentator, and self-styled dating coach. Ooh, Coach Red Pill. As a resident of Kharkiv, Ukraine, he vlogged about the 2022 Russian invasion and was described as spreading Russian disinformation. In April of 22, he disappeared and claimed to have been detained by the Security Service of Ukraine, the SBU. In May of 23, he was arrested and charged with producing and publishing material that attempted to justify the ongoing Russian invasion, which is illegal under Ukrainian law. Lira was released on bail but attempted to flee the country. He was arrested again for violating his bail conditions and died of pneumonia in custody. They killed him. They killed the guy. You know, part of me, I always say some blame goes to everybody. This guy shouldn't have died, but Ukrainians, they're scumbags. They're governments. And the people, I can't say too much about the people. That's usually how it goes, right? Scumbags. They going to put Gonzalo Lira on this list? You know, can we search for that to talk about the guy you murdered? This country is scumbaggery. Look at this. They got Jordan Peterson. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. The Russian footprint, blah, blah, blah. Look at their map. Oh, Donald Trump. The gray zone. What do we got? Heather Kaiser, Ben Norton. What is this? Code Pink, the American conservative. Like, I don't even know where I would be on this map because they have one video of me. Granted, I've talked on the show quite a bit. How do you, this is a very poorly put together map. Donald Trump. Well, I don't know if who do we got there? Jim Banks. Jim Banks finds himself on this list and he gets pissed. And then he sends a letter to all of us. Is like, dude, why am I on this list? Steve Bannon. There you go. There's Bears Bannon. I have to imagine I'm in one of these ancillary spheres, I guess. Jordan Schachtel, Steven Crowder, Tim Pool. Oh, there we go. Here I am connected to One American News Network. Really? Why? Who's this? Jack Posobiec. I'm not even connected to Jack. We have Jack on the show all the time. Come on. Kyle Becker has been on the show, what, twice? Am I connected? Oh, I'm only connected to Kyle Becker. Not only did they include my name on this list, they did a piss poor job of doing it. Tucker Carlson. Tucker gets a big old circle and he's connected to a lot of people. But you know what? I am offended now. Look, if you're going to put my name on a list and insult me, at least connect me to all the other people. I got a strong connection to the Daily Wire. We've had numerous Daily Wire hosts on Timcast IRL. Ben Shapiro's been on a special episode. Brett Cooper's been on. She's been on twice, hasn't she? Candace Owens has been on more than once. We've had people from One American News. Jack Posobiec's not even connected. He's been on the show 50 times. What is this? Alex Jones. You know what? They barely even knew to put my name on the list. I am insulted. I am insulted indeed. Here's what offends me the most. They made this list and they say these are people who are in the way of our money to defend ourselves. There's Matt Gates. So I'll talk to Matt about this if he makes it tonight. Hopefully he does. But we're always excited when Matt doesn't make it because it means he's doing something important. But Matt Gaetz should be on tonight on Timcast IRL. Though Trump has not directly opposed Ukraine post-invasion, he noted that Russia will eventually take over all of Ukraine. He sure will. So we'll scroll down here and we'll go to the table. The table here, you can see Tim Pool, social media influencer. They linked to this clip from the PBD podcast. They don't link to all of the connections. I have all these other people. That's funny. But they don't give me any affiliation. Look at that. Not a Republican. Don't like Republicans. There's a lot of people on this list. Connections. Kyle Becker. Oh, look at that. The Libertarian Party. Good company. Look at this. Libertarian reps. Angela McArdle, Caleb Maupin, Chris Hedges, Gerald Salente, Jill Stein, Rage Against the War Machine, Ron Paul, Tara Reid, Tatiana Moroz. It's like we've had a bunch of these people on the show. You're going to put connections for me. Come on. You guys are bad at what you do. You're bad. And you shouldn't have done it anyway. Elise Stefanik. I mean, that's crazy. I tell you right. Oh, there's Barry Loudermilk. I tell you, man, these people are scumbags. They think we owe them. They think that we owe them. Well, there's Tucker and Alex Jones. We owe you nothing. Nothing. And you're lucky to get what you get, but it's only because our government is a rogue state that hasn't declared war since World War II. Doing whatever they want, stripping our money away and giving it away. Treating us like a vassal state, like District 3 in the Hunger Games. They want to build an international city. They're talking about the line. And they've talked quite a bit about international cities that are governed by international bodies. Here we go, baby. They want to destroy this country, and that's what they're doing. I say we cut Ukraine off because the fight only exists because the scumbag volunteers. Scumbags. I don't care for Ukraine. I don't care for Russia's war on a border of a European. Meaningless. Completely. You want to justify war. You declare war through Congress. You've justified to the American people the purpose of that war. Next segment's coming up at 4 p.m. on the channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.